Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to a Sunday. Well, it's a Sunday morning. Normally do a Saturday, but today is a Sunday morning. Welcome to a Sunday morning live stream here from Auckland, New Zealand. It's a beautiful day here today. We've had a bit of rain, so it's been good. It was getting pretty dry, but I thought I would come back on today, have a bit of a chat with you guys, see what's going on out there, and discuss once again. I thought a really good idea. Last time, what I did was I kicked off by discussing some of the questions that have been raised on my channel recently. It's really good to get user feedback from my audience, hear what you guys are doing, and have a bit of a chat about some of those things. So just checking that I'm live. If anyone is on a line, if you can just let me know that I am live, because I'm not 100% sure if I am live. Let me just log on quickly and see whether I'm live. This is a very good question. I'll just go into my channel and see. Yes, it looks like I am live, so that is awesome, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do today is chat through a couple of my different questions that I've recently been asked on my channel and talk about what's going on with these. So the first question was I recently did a review of a couple of Meta devices. So some of them were Meta over Wi-Fi, others were Meta over Thread. Now, a lot of people are interested in Meta. However, a lot of people are also feeling that Meta is something that was touted as the all-out amazing solution to all of our problems integrating home automation, and it seems that a lot of people have been disappointed. So the question or the question that I got asked was, ignoring Zigbee is a mistake. I'm sure manufacturers are being pushed to do Meta and Thread, but Zigbee is king. We don't care about Meta. Okay, so interesting. I'll be really interested to hear you guys that are online now. What are your thoughts about Meta? Have you tried Meta and does it work for you? I've played around with Meta a little bit recently. I started off playing with Meta over Wi-Fi, and I must admit I've got quite a few Meta over Wi-Fi devices working at the moment, especially some from Sonoff. They've been really successful. They were very, very easy to connect, and they have stayed connected, and of course they are completely local. So I've been pretty impressed with those devices. I've also started playing with a bit of Meta over Thread. Now, I haven't as yet managed to get Meta over Thread operating with a local Home Assistant Thread border router. I've been using the Thread border router inside of my Apple devices. So I have an Apple Home Hub Mini and I have an Apple TV, both of which have got those Thread border routers inside of them. Now, when it comes to Thread and Zigbee, I've just received a very cool new device from our friends at SMlight in the Ukraine. Now, this device is quite something new. I don't think the industry has really seen anything like this yet. We know that Home Assistant at one stage was promoting their little Zigbee stick to be able to do both Zigbee and Thread at the same time, but that was ended up falling over, so it didn't go ahead. However, these guys at the SMlight have just sent me a first release version of this guy. So as you can see, I've got it open at the moment so you can see what's going on inside. But this has two radios included in the device. And we have two really high-powered antennas. So we've got one that goes on that side, and I'll just screw this one off my other SMlight. And we've got one that goes on this side. So what this means is that we've got two completely separate Thread or two radios. One that is operating Thread and one that is operating Zigbee. Now, you could also decide that you wanted to use this for both Zigbee. So I've seen some people mentioning that they might want to do a Zigbee ZHA as well as Zigbee um, over MQTT. So that's another use that you could put this dual radio to. As you can see, the antennas on this device are pretty large, so we can expect to get pretty good signals. These SMlight devices, they also have a Ethernet port at the bottom here, so you can connect them directly to Ethernet. And the beauty about that is they are power over Ethernet as well. So they can certainly be used without a power supply. On the side of the device over here, we have our USB-C, which can be used to both connect the device directly to your Home Assistant, and also it can be used to power the device. I would certainly recommend, you can connect this via Wi-Fi to your network, but I would definitely recommend having a direct connection, and generally USB connection directly into your Home Assistant device is the best way to go, because it gives you a really good solid connection and no issues. So I've just started playing with this device. I saw a review recently from Bearded Tinker. Well, he's now the Unbearded Tinker. I see his beard has disappeared, so not sure whether that's going to return, whether he's going to change his name, or whether it's just going to be the Unbearded Bearded Tinker. So, all right, welcome. We've got some comments here. Awesome. Thank you so much for the comments. First up, we've got Fred from Queensland. Welcome on board, Fred. What's it like in Brisbane at the moment? Good friend of mine is moving over to Brisbane, so sounds like a beautiful place. I've certainly been over there. I enjoy visiting the Gold Coast, and yeah, it's just an awesome part of the world. So welcome, Fred. Tell us what you're running, your Home Assistant setup is running, and if you have any questions. We've also got Hacho Gonzalez. Welcome, Hacho. Where are you from? SMlight hardware and software are really good. Only actual good web interface I've seen on an ESP-based hardware. Oh, yes, I agree with you 100%, Hacho. The web device, that web utility is just amazing. Being able to see what's going on inside of your device is just so cool. And being able to make all of those adjustments. You can see the temperatures of the chips. You can flash the device easily. So with the SMlights, for example, you can go from being a Zigbee router to a Zigbee coordinator to a thread border router. So you've got all of those different options. I must say it's a revolutionary device. Even this one, the one before, which was a single radio, even this one I thought was just fantastic. But this one now with the dual radios, yep, I think this is just next level, and I can't wait to try this out further and give you some feedback on how it works. So yeah, it's just amazing. So Hacho is saying, I run 2 times on PoE. All my Zigbee problems are gone 100% away. Isn't that cool to hear? I must say, Zigbee is fantastic. I'm really enjoying my Zigbee network as well. Mine is pretty stable at the moment as well, and I'm pretty impressed on how it is working. But yeah, these guys are just producing fantastic devices, and unfortunately this one of the dual radios is not available at the moment. It seems like they sold out, and hopefully there will be a stock available soon. All right, Fred is saying a chilly 20 right now. Oh, well, that's better than what we have over here in New Zealand, I think. Let's check my Home Assistant, what is going on with the weather outside. My trusty weather station is telling me 16.6 degrees Celsius at the moment. Okay, so yeah, it is a beautiful sunny winter's morning or autumn morning here in Auckland today, Fred. So we've got Todd. Welcome, Todd, from across the pond in the USA. Yeah, I've got Australia to the one side, US to the other side. It's a bit of a bigger pond you have to cross to get to US, but yeah, good on you, Todd. How are things going for you? What are you running Home Assistant on, Todd? And what is your favorite communication? Are you using Zigbee, Wi-Fi, Thread? What are you using? Give us a shout and let me know. Oh, there we go. So Fred says he's running Home Assistant on a NUC bare metal. Good on you. I haven't as yet run mine on a NUC. I am currently running on an Odroid, and I'm really enjoying the performance of running it on Odroid. I've basically only run it either on Odroid or on Raspberry Pi. And although the Odroid that I'm running on at the moment is slightly slower than a Raspberry Pi 5, it seems to be a bit faster than a 4, but slightly slower than a 5. What it is doing for me, it's giving me absolutely rock solid stability, no fall over. And the beauty about it is that it has in the back of it, it has the NVMe stick on the underside of the board. So super compact design. I've got the one from Apollo Automation. They launched that about 8 or 9 months ago, and I just love it. It's an absolutely rock solid device to run on. All right. Hecho is saying they show changelog for their firmwares online in their own interface. No more going onto a website to see what's new. I know, Hecho. Isn't that just incredible? Why can't we see more devices like this where they've got a web portal that you can go to? You can update the firmware. You can see what's going on the device. It even records the temperatures of the chips. You upgrade it from that. You do, yeah. It's these guys are just doing fantastic and amazing things with their technology, and yeah, I just cannot wait to see what's next from them because they just keep on coming up with one new thing after the next. All right. Todd is saying, I'm looking into adding another one for my Home Assistant. Yeah, I agree. You can't have too many of these SMlights, can you? They are just the most coolest little device ever. Super powerful antenna. They've got a number, I think they've got 4 different LEDs that can be used to give you feedback on what is going on. Plus, you can obviously see your LEDs on the back here of your Ethernet port, as well as being able to view all of that information in your online web portal. So Todd says he's using Zigbee Wi-Fi Apple Home. Home Assistant is running on a mini desktop, a 12-core i5 1450, 12450H, 32 gig DDR4, 512 gig PCIe SSD, rock solid. Yeah, I'm pretty keen to try one of these desktop installs. Yeah, I think it'll be, I get a lot of feedback from everyone that the speed is just unbelievable, just so fast, you can't believe it. But yeah, I'm so happy with my Odroid at the moment that I am just sitting pretty on the Odroid and not going anywhere. Okay, welcome Mr. Super Sidewinder, another regular to my live streams. We've got Hatcho, he's a regular. We've got Mr. Super Sidewinder, another regular. All right, what is Mr. Super Sidewinder saying? I'm totally happy with my Sonoff Zigbee dongle 265p. Yes, look, the Sonoff dongles are amazingly simple as well. Super cost effective, easy to use. What I'd be interested to hear from you is, have you tried flashing them at all? Shelly's or Sonoff has released their new flashing software. Have you tried flashing them at all to change the functionality, or perhaps to switch it over to a thread border router? Now, talking about thread, has anyone managed to get thread working directly from a radio connected to Home Assistant? Because I haven't managed as yet. Up to now, I've been running it on my Apple devices and then sharing. So pairing it up with Apple. I have a whole lot of smart blinds around my house at the moment, and they're all operating on Matter over Thread, and they connect into my HomePod and my Apple TV, and then they share back the the pairing code for Matter back to Home Assistant from the Thread border router in those Apple devices. But I haven't as yet managed to get it working directly with a Home Assistant attached radio. So please, if anyone's let me know, I'm planning to get it to test it with this device and see if we can get it working, which will be really cool because as I say, up to now, we haven't. Don't you just love a look at this device? Isn't it funky? Have a close look inside the board there. You can see we got some pretty small little chips going on inside of there. Yeah, these guys are doing fantastic work. Just so exciting to see manufacturing going on. All right, so Todd is saying, I know it is overkill. Nothing's overkill. Let's just face it. We are all geeks and we love having high-powered equipment to play with. All right, welcome, Fred. Does Todd use a local voice? How does he find the speed with his mini PC? Very good question, Fred. So, as you probably know, I've been doing a lot of local voice, and yes, that would be really interesting. Okay, so Todd says, I'm looking into local voice. Okay, so yeah, this brings up a point of the local voice and the speed. So, local voice is getting quicker, okay? But with running it on a Raspberry Pi or an Odroid, it's still pretty slow. And the slowest part is when it goes back up the line and goes to use the AI. So I really like having AI on my voice. I just think it's really funny. I don't know if you've seen the new voices that they've now brought out. You can have an angry voice or a happy voice or a sad. It's quite hilarious seeing the different voices that Home Assistant has just brought out. All right. Mr. Super Sidewinder is saying, I've got two for 40. I flashed them both as soon as I got them. The included software at the time is only supporting 20 devices. The flashed firmware supports 200. Wow. Yeah, 200 is what we need, isn't it? 20 is not going to get very far, is it? Not these days with all the home automation devices that we are playing around with. So yeah, voice. What do you guys think of voice? Are you playing with it? Do you have a voice PE edition? If you're playing with voice and you don't have a PE edition, what are you running it on? Are you running it on the S3 Box 3, that tiny little one, what was it called? Can't even remember. The Seed device, or are you running it on your own custom-built software? What are you running it on? I'd be very interested to know what you're running it on. I'm really enjoying Voice PE. What I'm interested in trying out, I just got one of these little things. This is a Seed Grove sensor. Has anyone played with Grove sensors? So the Grove sensors have got these little Grove plugs on them. So this is a temperature and humidity device. I think it's communicating over I2 squared, I2S. Yes, it is. You can see there on the back of it. Stick my glasses on. It's got the SCL, SDA video and ground. I'm not sure if the camera will focus on that. No. But yeah, this works on I2C and you can plug directly into your Voice Preview Edition and you can add sensors to your Voice Preview Edition. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to be playing around with one of those at some stage or another. Okay. So yes, Zigbee is king. We all agree with that. What are you guys running? Are you running Zigbee over MQTT? Or are you running Zigbee, ZHA Zigbee? I've tried out Zigbee to MQTT, but I actually went back to ZHA. What I did like about MQTT was the number of different entities that get pulled through on the devices. I find that really cool, but just the ZHA is just so simple. Yeah, I like the ZHA. All right. I want to add local voice. I'm nearly blind, so it would be awesome. I hope speech to phrase will work for me. I'm allergic to AI. Okay, interesting. Yeah, some of us are, I think, a bit over the AI. Me, I'm quite enjoying the AI. I interviewed a really good, interesting guy on AI the other day talking about architecture and construction. And yeah, I'm a big AI fan, but I understand not everyone is into AI. So, Mr. Super Sidewinder, please let me know once you get your voice working, how it works with the speech to phrase. Obviously, speech to phrase is a new thing that was released in April, Home Assistant update. And it means that instead of having to detect each and every word and being reasonably slow, the doing it with the speech to phrase means that it recognizes a phrase and means that it speeds it up so it goes much more quickly. So yeah, I'll be interested to get your feedback, Mr. Soundwinder, on how it works with your speech to phrase. Okay, Todd, running ZHA as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think ZHA. A lot of people are still running ZHA. A lot of people are trying out Zigbee to MQTT, and I think a lot of old school people love MQTT because it gives that level of granularity. You've got all those different device entities that you can access and play around with. So it is pretty cool. All right. Zigbee, I had Zigbee to MQTT on my first build under Docker Compose. Now I'm on hand on my new build, HAOS. It's nice having supervisor and add-on store. I agree. I think that the benefits of having the supervisor and the HA store is just fantastic, isn't it? The amount of stuff that you've got available to you is just so cool. It's so well integrated with Home Assistant. So, some interesting feedback. I'm not sure how many people saw my recent video on the e-paper display that I was playing around with. Now, e-paper, traditionally, my issue with screens and ESP Home is that they are really difficult to program the graphical user interface. It's a real mission. So there is this new add-on called Puppet. What Puppet does is it basically takes a screenshot of one of your dashboards and then it publishes this as a PDF. Then what happens, Puppet basically pushes that out to your ESP, or your ESP32 goes back to Puppet and pulls that image and then displays it on the screen. This is really, really cool for e-paper displays where you have that slow refresh rate. Now, initially when I was playing with Puppet, it was seeming as if the add-on was really stressing Home Assistant. It was pushing the temperature and the speed that Home Assistant, the processor, was running pretty hot, and it kept falling over. It ran about 4 or 5 hours and then die, and then restarted. And so I did an automation to restart it, but it's just a pain. But now, recently, it seems there's been some upgrades to Puppet, and up to now, for the last day or two, my e-paper display is running, it's refreshing itself, no issues. So yeah, have a look at Puppet if you're interested in playing with e-paper or e-ink displays. All right. The only thing I got lost going into ZHA was the tilt angle on my garage door. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame. Really good to, as you say, to have the actual angle. I tried out that third reality sense the other day, and that gave me either a vertical or horizontal, but not the in-between angle. So that must be quite cool. All right. Welcome, Smart Home Sellout. Yo, yo. How's it going, folks? Welcome, Smart Home. Great to have you on the stream. Todd is saying e-paper display is interesting. Don't have a need yet. I know. I don't have a need for it either, but I wanted to get it anyway. And I'll tell you what I'm using it for at the moment. I quite like having it on my bedside table. The reason I like e-ink over a normal screen is that with normal screens, sometimes something goes wrong in the night and it just switches the LCD backlight on in in the middle of the night and wakes you up. Beauty about e-paper screens, they don't have backlights. So there's nothing that can turn on and wake you up. And the other thing is they look super cool. So I've now got a dashboard sitting on my e-paper display. When I wake up in the morning and I turn on my bedside lamp, I can then immediately see what is the weather, what is the time. I could pull in my diary, my calendar, or anything, and just have it available there as an e-paper display. So yeah, I'm a big fan of e-ink, e-paper displays. I'm looking forward to see where they're going to go. We see now that we've got the one that I'm using is just an on-off. So you've got either a black or a white. You do get the ones with 16 shades of gray. So that's quite cool because you can have more of a pictorial sort of a format. And they're also quite low density of pixels. So mine's a 840 by 480, 800 by 480. So it is a little bit pixelated, but yeah, and it's not color. You do have the color ones coming out as well now, which is pretty cool. Okay, so all things smart home again today. Let's have a look at what our next comment was that I received on my channel. Strange that Shelly required 2-wire nuts for an installation. Could have had a large terminals to get 2 wires in, or simplify its own internal wiring, not to require the jumper from L to I. Now, with Shelly devices, let me just grab a little Shelly here that we can have a look at. I'll show you what the person is talking about here, and we can talk about Shelly's. Okay, so I love Shelly's. The new 4th gen Shelly is super cool. It offers a Zigbee, it offers Bluetooth, it offers Wi-Fi. Yeah, with the new chips, it's just fantastic. Now, what the comment is talking about here is that with a Shelly, you've got your live and your neutral that come in over here for the Shelly. But then when you connect your light, for example, you then need to connect the one side of your light to the 0, the 1 to the 1, but then you need to loop that back to the neutral again, which means that you need 2 cables coming in to the little connector over there. Now, these connectors are pretty small. This is happening because the devices are shrinking down in order to fit neatly inside of your let's see, Mr. Super Sidewinder is saying 4th gen is fabulous. Yes, it is, isn't it? And Fred is saying 6 people are watching. Why one has thumbs up? Why one thumbs up? Fred, just smash that like button. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Awesome, Fred. Now, just going back to this over here. So the thing with Shelly is that they have these really small, Super Sidewinder saying that he sees 5. Maybe that's because it's you plus another 5. I don't care. Even if it's one of you online, I'm super happy. I enjoy live streaming, and it's just a lot of fun to have you guys there. So talking about these Shellys, yeah, so you do need to jump over to the neutral with 2 wires. And the issue is because the connector is so small, very hard to connect more than 1 wire in there and being a safe connection. Remember, we're talking about a high AC voltage, so we want to make sure we don't have any shorting out at the terminals over here. So when you're looking at Shelly's, you've got 2 options. You can use a, can't remember the term. It's like a little pin which has a crimp on the outside. And then you can easily crimp your 2 wires in there and then put the pin in and screw it up. That works really well. However, there are other devices, for example, coming out from Sonoff now, where they've got, and even from Seed as well, I saw, whereby they've got separate outputs for different, well, they've got multiple neutral or multiple lives connectors, which means that you only have to have one wire going into each one. And I think this is a really good idea. I mean, if we look at this Shelly over here, there was a space over there to fit another little device in, or another one of those screw terminals. So yeah, it would have been great to add another one so that we don't have to have double ups, because they are a little bit of a pain. But yeah, Shelly is super fantastic. A lot of people are using Shellys. They are awesome, awesome devices. And what I like about Shellys, I'll tell you what's super cool about Shellys. Certainly in New Zealand, they are local NZ certified for use in New Zealand. So I know that I am protected because it's been tested for use with the New Zealand power system. That's number one. Number two that I really like with Shellys is they have both a temperature, a thermal, and they have a power overload circuit inside them. So you know that if they overheat or too much current is running through them, they will kill the device and they will not burn out and cause a fire in your house, which is super important. So Shelly, guys, they're doing some awesome stuff. They are bringing out a new little add-on now for Lora as well. It will be fantastic to try out when those Lora devices come on board. Let's wait and see. All right. So Super Sidewinder is saying, right, smart. All right. So Smart is saying, nice, got to feel safe when using the hardware. Oh, yeah, totally. We all have to be super careful when we are playing with AC voltages in our house. We don't want to be burning our house down. So, yeah, Shelly, just unbelievable. They are coming with some cool new devices. And I think that the Shelly display is something that's coming new to you guys in the States soon. Looks like they're going to be releasing one with 110 volt AC. So you'll be able to use that as well. But yeah, just fantastic devices. Let's just have a quick look while we're talking about Shelly. Let's go and have a look at the Shelly web page. Let's see what's happening with Shelly. I'll just switch you guys over to see my screen, and we'll go over here and we will look at Shelly. Let's just see what Shelly is doing at the moment. We can just get rid of that so we don't see that too much. All right. So the new Shelly 4th Gens shop now. Okay. So let's see what we have available in the 4th Gens. So we currently have a Shelly 1. Okay. So it's just a basic relay offering obviously Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, and Matter. We've got the Shelly 1 PM, so power monitoring. We've got the Shelly PM1 Mini Gen 4, and we've got the Power Monitoring Mini. And then we have a Shelly 1 Energy Monitoring. So this is quite cool. This is a new one they brought in where it doesn't have a relay. It's just for energy monitoring if you require that. Let's just go back to their main page. Shelly X Zendurith. Oh, what is this? This looks very interesting. Something new to Shelly. Shelly, okay. Supercharged smart energy plug and play energy storing system. Zendur Solar Flow Hyper 2000 plug and play energy storage system designed to enhance your home's solar power setup. Stores energy generated during the day for use at night or during peak demand, helping to reduce energy bills. System includes 2000 watt AC coupled inverter and modular batteries. Wow, so this is pretty cool. Shelly is going into the battery and the inverter side of things. This is the first time I've been seeing this. Wow. So we've got some winners already there. Some people have won these devices. Wow, that is pretty cool. What is Shelly going to bring to the market next? My goodness. So that's something new that Shelly's bringing in. Would be fascinating to try that out. We've got the Lora add-on. There we go. Unlock up to 5 kilometers of communication. My goodness, that is just fantastic. And are these Shelly Loras available yet? Let's see. Yes, they are. Shelly Lora add-on pack 2. Wow, I'm going to order this. This is so funky. Shelly now has the Loras. Last time we were talking about these, they were not available, but it looks like now they are available, ready to play with. Oh my goodness. Shelly is just going all out. Yeah, that is cool. That is so, so cool. Just move you over, go away. Don't allow. Let's get rid of that. All right, let's go back so you can see me again. There we are. Awesome, guys. Let me go back to the chat. Have we got any chat here? Okay. All right, be careful. They come with 8 amp or 16 amp relays. For US market, get the 16 amp. Yeah, I would say whichever market you're in, get the 16 amp. You will be safer having that extra power consumption or power throughput. Last thing you want is to be over taxing your relays and getting into any problems like fires or anything like that. All right, so that was talking about Shelly's. Next up, we've got a comment about Homey Pro. Just hearing Homey Pro was acquired by LG means I will not be interested in acquiring. Okay, interesting. So really interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are about other smart home platforms. Now, I know we're all super passionate about Home Assistant, but I'm also interested to know what other platforms do you play with in your network, and what do you think of them? What do you think of how they compare to Home Assistant? So me, for at the moment, what I'm running in my home is obviously Home Assistant is my key. I have Apple Home because I've got quite a few Apple devices. I might as well connect them. They seem to be work very well alongside Home Assistant. And I just, yeah, the Apple, I'm not crazy about trying to build out an Apple Home. I just find it's really limited compared to Home Assistant and doesn't really do too much for me. But I do enjoy having Apple Home alongside Home Assistant. Other than that, I do have Amazon. I've got 1 or 2 Amazons around the place. I did have them originally connected to Home Assistant, but I've now just, I don't bother with them anymore. It got too complex with connecting up via having the user, the developer account and all that nonsense. So I just went away from all of that. They just operate on their own, and yep, they're there. I've got a couple of them, but I don't worry about using them too much. Other than that, I have been playing with the Homey Pro. It's an interesting looking device. They've really gone out all on the hardware, so they've got everything inside. It's got a Z-Wave, it's got a Zigbee, it's got a Matter over Thread, it's got Bluetooth, it's got 433 megahertz, it's got absolutely every radio you can imagine. I do like the device. It's a great looking device. Super expensive. I mean, I know in New Zealand, I think it's $800. I don't know, for you guys, maybe it's $400 or something in the US. It's a lot of money that we're spending on a device, especially for us guys used to Home Assistant, where we can run it on having an old Raspberry Pi that we had in the drawer. So effectively, it cost us nothing to set it up. So yeah, price-wise, very expensive, the Homey Pro. I'll tell you what I found about Homey Pro. Yes, so there we go. We've got a comment. Homey Pro looks promising but expensive. $399 in the US last time I looked. And their advertising is deceptive. They try to get people to download the app, then hook them into the hardware. Yeah, that's an interesting one. The way you can download the software and then you've got the hardware on the other side. I must admit, I did really struggle figuring Homey Pro out. I've sort of forgotten what the start of Home Assistant was, but I sort of remember it being a little bit easier. A lot of people talking about Homey Pro being easy. What I found frustrating with Homey Pro was that for every single device type, you have to download an app. And just for me, that was a real mission. I didn't like that. Secondly, the dashboards, they are all mobile dashboards. There's no web dashboards. That for me, again, was a frustration. And thirdly, and the biggest thing that frustrated me with Homey Pro was the fact that we don't have the support of the community. Yes, they do have a community in the background, but it's nothing like what we are used to with Home Assistant. With Home Assistant, I can basically search for anything online, and somewhere between Reddit, Facebook, all the different user groups, the YouTube videos, I will find someone talking about how to integrate this device or do this in Home Assistant. And that for me is what makes it so powerful. So no, I will not be switching over to Homey Pro anytime soon. All right. Next comment I'm going to have a look at is, when I enabled detached mode, is there a way for Zigbee to MQTT to notify me when the switch is pressed? I can't seem to get it to work. Right. So detached mode switches. This is a pretty cool functionality as far as I'm concerned. What detached mode means is that you've got a switch on your wall. So, for example, you've got say you get a 4-gang switch for your wall. And perhaps you've only got 2 light circuits that are being controlled at that specific switch. Let's just go back quickly to the comment section. Habitat looks solid too, but HA is my choice for sure. Yeah, Habitat, something I've never tried. I must admit, I haven't been bothered. I was sort of offered the Homey Pro, so I thought I'd give it a try. I don't really have much interest in downloading or trying any other systems at the moment. I see that some of the smart home companies are creating their own sort of networks. For example, you've got Switchbot and Sonoff, which are creating their own. They're starting to build up their own hubs and their own networks, which is quite cool to work on the side and connect to Home Assistant. They do work well, and for people perhaps that don't want to go down the Home Assistant route, the interesting thing is I just recently, or a while ago, I was playing with this guy. This is the iHost, and apparently now you can install Home Assistant on the iHost. So that's interesting. Another piece of hardware that is running Home Assistant. But yeah, for me, no, I carry on with Home Assistant, Habitat, dang Google. Yeah. I don't run much Google stuff, I must admit. I use Google Gemini in the background as a free API for playing around with AI in my Home Assistant. The reason I use Google Gemini is that it's free. I'm a little bit weary of going into AI and putting my credit card in there and then suddenly having something going in Home Assistant where it does a whole lot of calls and racks up the bill. That is what I want to avoid at this stage. All right. So getting back to detached relays. So if you can imagine, you've got a relay on your wall, a switch on your wall with a 4-gang. So 4 switches, 2 lighting circuits that you are controlling. So what do you do with those other 2 switches? Well, you use them in detached mode. In other words, you use them to control other automations within Home Assistant. So the 2 switches that are there, I can turn my lights on and off. I can also control those 2 circuits with a automation from Home Assistant. But the other 2 buttons I can now use for controlling automation. So all I do is I run an automation with a trigger based on switch number 3. When I press switch number 3 on my wall, it runs an automation in Home Assistant. You might use it for who knows what. But anyway, it's great. This detached switch mode is a super, super awesome little thing that I came across and that I quite enjoy. All right. The next comment I got was about smoke alarms. So recently I did a video having a look at a Meta-based smoke alarm, which was cool because I needed a smoke alarm. Now, do bear in mind with smoke alarms, do always ensure that the device has been tested for use in your locality, your local municipality. Now, the one that I did test, got some feedback. The manufacturer was very, very responsive, and they gave me some feedback of a special type of a test that has been done, an EU certification. So it's good that it has been certified, but I also need to know that that is accepted by my local council. So currently I've got 2 smoke alarms. I've got a normal one in the house, which is approved by my local council. And then I've got this one from Sension, which connects up to Matter and sends me a trigger because I want to know if my house catches on fire and I'm away, I want to know about it. Okay. So they are asking, I've gone with the first alarm smoke CO2 Z-Wave detectors, have one in almost every room and have them forwarding notifications to my phone. In addition to smoke CO2, they can also alert on battery. Yeah, really important that you know the battery is going flat on your on your smoke alarm. But even on top of that, this device actually had something that would tell me if there was a problem detected with the smoke alarm. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice little device. It's got dual batteries, so one that controls the smoke alarm functionality and one that controls the Matter functionality. So pretty cool. But yeah, I do quite like the idea of having a smoke and a CO2 detector all in one because smoke, well, not CO2. What was the other thing that you'd want to be sensing? Well, CO2 is one thing, but there's carbon monoxide. That's what it is. Because I think carbon monoxide is another gas that you want to make sure that you avoid in your house. And yeah, another thing that would be quite cool is to have something that detected gas as well. So if you, for example, had a gas leak, if you're using a gas hob or oven and you had a leak of gas, it'd be great to have a gas detector as well. So anyway, lots of different detection systems. Anyway, guys, those are the questions that I had put down. One more. Here we go. Now, I recently tested some Lora devices. Oh, wait, we've got a comment here. Hang on a second. Zoos make a device to attach to existing hardwired AC smoke detectors. Unfortunately, they are only available in Z-Wave. Yeah, look, Z-Wave, I don't know about you guys, how many of you use Z-Wave? I've never tried Z-Wave. The Z-Wave devices are quite expensive because of the Z-Wave licensing, and you need different devices for different parts of the world. So yeah, I've never played with Z-Wave, but yeah, they get expensive, and yeah, that's one of the limitations. All right, so going back here, I see that you have devices on the UC suffix. Previously, the suffix was used for Yolink Lora products destined for the Lora frequency used in North America and not Europe, which I think is an EC suffix. The different products were because of differing radio frequency allocation in the different parts of the world. Is this still the case, or is there now one product for the whole world? Looks like you bought your products from the default US website, so that's why they are UC products. What is the current situation on UC versus EC and the international purchase usage? Incidentally, the device you give takes me to a Philips device here in the UK. All right. So, talking about Lora. So, I recently ordered a Yolink product based off of the suggestions of one of my listeners in the live stream. And Lora is it's a long range technology, and Yolink are super cool. They have a integration with Home Assistant. Unfortunately, it's not local. It does go via the cloud, although they tell me that there is a local hub now that they are selling. It's not available at the moment. It's been sold out because of all you guys ordering it, I'm sure. But yes, Lora is cool and Yolink is cool. But the big question is about the radio frequencies. This is always tricky. Z-Wave and Lora and 433, they all use different frequencies in different part of the world. Now, I did go a little bit back and forth with Yolink trying to understand about this frequency, and they seem to say that they only do one frequency. So yeah, it's hard to tell. I'm not really sure about exactly how the frequencies work, and all I know is that the device I have operates on a frequency that is okay, 915 megahertz, works for New Zealand. So yeah, I'm safe. But yeah, do make sure when you're ordering products off the internet internationally that they do in time and you don't get in trouble with regarding all the frequencies. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for me today. It's been fantastic chatting with you all out there. If you've got any more comments, feel free, pop them up in the chat. I'll hang on for a couple more minutes and we can just deal with any other questions that you may have. Once again, it's been fantastic chatting to everyone. I really appreciate how I can just pop up on a live stream and you guys all flock in here and are willing to chat and share information and projects that you're doing around the countryside. Let me know if there's anything you would like me to review, any products or any cool stuff on Home Assistant. Yeah, Home Assistant, yeah, the recent upgrade has just occurred. Quite interesting to see what came out there. Quite a lot of voice stuff, a bit of change to the, what else do we see in changes? We saw changes to, they're bringing out that new Z-Wave stuff. Looks like Home Assistant's going to launch a new Z-Wave radio antenna with a boosting for performance on Z-Wave, so that should be interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. Really enjoyed having you all. Once again, I would like to say a big shout out to everyone that joins me on these live streams. Sorry, I'm choking down my water here. Anyway, that's all for now. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you the next one. Bye for now.